in the prayer room. Come on in the 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 room. Shooby dooby dooby tweedle. Tweety twee. Tweety twee. That's me harmonizing. That's me harmonizing. Harmonizing. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting on something, so I'm stalling. Good God Almighty. Those of you who can't meet me at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tonight, me and Tyrell Walker gonna talk. So I need y'all in the building tonight, 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 tonight. All right, let me get the IG popping, because you know that's a separate situation. This joint sound good, boy. This joint sound good. I love to do that. This joint sound good. This joint sound good. This joint sound good. I'm waiting on something, y'all. That's what's happening. Y'all, the other day I couldn't see all of my comments. So y'all, I'm gonna see today. Like if I see, I gotta see. I found out that I had some comments the other day and couldn't see them. I can't do it with that sound. I'm gonna just do that since that's on my mind. That ain't what I'm up here to do, but I'm gonna do that for a second. Do y'all be doing double time or regular? I gotta turn my headphones up. Yep. Zooby dooby doo boo boo. So here we go. And now let me go to my joint. So I can see what's going on. So I can see. So I can see what's going on. So I can see. So I can see what's going on. This piano sounds crazy. I'm gonna just do this idea while I, you know what I'm saying. That hissing in my mic is worrisome. Yeah, 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 yeah. let me Nigel, you're incredible. I ain't seen Nigel in so long, but Nigel, you're incredible, man. How you doing, bro? Nigel Blandon, one of the dopest drummers in the world. Nigel, when I first seen you and Micah playing with Ernest, I said I quit. Gabby Smith in the building. What's goody, Gab? Okay, okay. All right. Hold on one second. Let me see. Did you go and see it? You said you got it sent to me or it's sending to me? Oh, it's sending. Okay. All right. When it get over here, we flipping the script, guys. The reason for this live is about to reveal itself. Pat, what up? Hey, Gabby. Hey, we're creative people, bro, for real. Y'all, Gabby Smith, y'all know Gabby, one of the most incredible singers in the whole wide world. My big sister. Let me see. All right, let me say this. This is a vibe. I'm not on here to do what y'all just heard me doing. I just did that because it was in my head while I was waiting. I'm waiting for Dietrich, and he said we about to be cooking. So I'm gonna just put this here. I just went ahead and started the live so that I can be Nigel, bro. It's been years, man. Mm, why me and Micah so much when we heard y'all first? Wow, that's crazy, bro. When I heard y'all, I said, "Oh!" And I think somebody had told. I think Ray may have told me like that y'all were gonna be playing. I said, cause we had seen Ernest a couple times before that, Nigel, and because we young boys, I mean we like Ernest was cool and everything, but then when y'all came in there, I said, "Oh yeah, these boys, this our vibe." Nigel, I was like, "Who is this playing drums, bro?" Now y'all my people, bro. Didrik, I'm waiting. I'm waiting patiently. I'm waiting patiently. Yes, I am. I wish Tank was in here right now. Y'all meet me at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tonight. Me and Tyrell Walker are gonna talk about if artists should be responsible. He posted a post and asked, should artists be responsible to make promo videos for concerts, for quartet concerts? Oh, Dropbox so slow. Okay. And that's an interesting question that deserves an answer. So me and Tyrell are gonna talk at 8 tonight. So y'all make sure y'all come in because I want to hear what everybody got to say. I was in his comments talking about it, and other people were talking about it, and it was some very interesting perspectives. I don't think nobody, I think everybody had very reasonable perspectives, but there's so many ways to look at it because the conversation is so nuanced. Here's the thing, I'm not gonna spoil our conversation later because we having a conversation later, but that conversation is so nuanced because I mean, no, it ain't no quicker way. You can compress it and send it through WeTransfer, or you can compress it and send it through Dropbox. Don't maybe not try to send the folder by itself. Maybe compress the file so that it comes to me as a zip. Try to send it to me as a zip file if you aren't already. I'm not gonna assume you don't know that because that can be insulting, brother. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's a new one. Any conversation. I'm gonna be honest real quick while I wait on Dietrich. Any conversation, what I've learned, I'm gonna say it like that. What I've learned is conversations as it relates to do's and don'ts and shoulds and shouldn'ts when it comes to quartet can get really, really, it can get really, really sticky way before it has the ability to be productive, because a lot of the times um we aren't always dealing with people who have the capacity to have productive conversations. If I'm being honest, sometimes it can be hard to have revolutionary, productive, progressive conversations. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's sad, but it's true. I've decided at this point in my life, where I am and how old I am, I'm not going to be afraid to be be honest. I'm waiting for a file, y'all. But yeah, it can be hard. It can be hard to have conversations because you got to understand. I'll explain why it can be hard to have conversations. I'm gonna explain why it can be hard to have conversations with people in quartet sometimes. What makes it difficult is imagine. I'm trying to think of an example that's not insulting because I'm not saying what I'm saying to be insulting. Chris Ledbetter's in the building. Gang. Jeremiah's in the building. Gang. I'm waiting for Dietrich to send me a file. But oh, Chris is a great person to have this kind. And Jeremiah, I'm glad y'all in here. Oh, this is the perfect time for them to be in here. Sometimes it could be hard to have progressive conversations with people in quartet because they they enter the conversation in a box. Before the conversation even starts, there is already limiting beliefs in their soul. Hear me. When you try to have a conversation with someone who comes into the conversation with limiting beliefs to start with, it's not going to be productive. Because anything that you say outside of anything that you say beyond that limiting belief, it becomes an argument. And it's like we live in a day now where there's too much proof of what's possible. And it costs a lot of time to argue with people who have limiting beliefs. It's not a good use of time to argue with people who have limiting beliefs. So what is the solution? Talk to and work with people who don't have those limiting beliefs. I mean, one thing I'm learning is life is too short to try to convince people of anything. I mean, it don't matter how much food I got if you ain't hungry. If you don't want what I cook and you ain't hungry, then it don't. If I tell you, but it's good though. It's the best. It's the best fried chicken you ever taste, man. I'm good, man. Man, I just had to deal with this a few months ago, man. You preach. Hey, lay better. Let me tell you something. Chris, let me tell you something. Whoever you have in your corner right now, who has the capacity to think beyond where y'all come from, hold on to them. The people who don't, you don't have to let them go, but it is unproductive to consider them in any decision making that you do. because it's not going to be in your best interest. I don't care if they started with you, help you start your group, help you write a song before, or even play or sing with you right now. If their way of being and thinking is in the opposite direction of what you feel you are capable of, considering their opinion in your decisions is not in your best interest. Don't do it. People be mad at me when I say stuff like this. People be mad at me when I say stuff like this, but you wasting time. You're wasting time. Because if they don't believe, they ain't going to believe. And if you got to show them for them to believe you, they shouldn't be building with you. They can just watch. If they don't trust that you have the gifting and the vision, and every time you turn around, you got to explain every decision you make because they have limiting beliefs and small minds. Run! Run, Forrest, run! Run as fast as you can, run! 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 Because you'll spend all your time convincing them of why the decision is a good decision, and you will take away time from execution. Imagine spending months trying to convince somebody of something you want to do versus going ahead and doing it, and how productive you could have been in those same amount of months if you would have just did it. You can't, you're not going to grow. You're not going to grow. Chris, listen, listen, there's a generation. All right, let's do it. All right. There's a generation of people in quartet, and it's not really age. It's not really age. It's awareness. There's a certain group of people that is not limited by age, but it is limited by the ability to accept. There are people who are becoming aware spiritually, politically, financially, globally, giftingly, talentedly, all the leads. There are people who say, wait a minute, this ain't working. This ain't working. I know this is what you told me to do. I know that's what I seen you do. But this don't work for me. That don't work for me. I can't keep doing that. That's holding me back. What you're saying is insane. And I can't even believe that I'm entertaining your voice right now. And there are people who are starting to be like, yo, I got to do something different. God, what will you have me to do? God, what will you have me to do? I'm tired. I'm frustrated. I'm surrounded by people who can't see, don't believe, and don't want more than they ever had. And they are dragging me to the pits. And God, I need your help. Maybe I'm the voice of, maybe God is using me to help you. When it's time for you to make a decision, don't consider their opinion. It don't mean don't love them. It don't mean don't respect them. But it do mean don't consider their opinion. Dante is in the building. Boy, I'm so proud of you, boy. I'm so proud of you, boy. Dante Sanders in the building. I was just talking about y'all group the other day. Joe in the building. Joel, what up? Dez, what up? Dedrick, okay, I'm going to be looking for it. Chris, the most freeing thing you can do is decide, I ain't finna let this hold me back no more. Because at the end of the day, we can talk about resume. We can talk about what we used to do back in the day. We can talk about pros. We can talk about lokes. We can talk about all that stuff. But you know what I'm interested in 2025? Fruit. You know what I'm interested in 2025? Execution. You know what I'm interested in 2025? Results. I'm not interested in ego. I'm not interested in perception. I'm not interested in pros, and I'm not interested in lokes. I am interested in fruit, productivity, open minds, intellectual conversations, forward moving, and forward thinking. I'm not finna run on a rat race with you to see who run the fastest so we can prove who the loc and who the pro. We both going in circles, man. It don't matter. We both going in circles. It don't matter who the pro or who the loc. We both are going the same place, nowhere. We are both going nowhere. So why are we looking at each other on the treadmill like, if I run, I'm a pro, you see me? Yeah, I see you doing nothing, going nowhere. I can't. Don't do it. Everybody under the sound of my voice, break the chains. I am giving you permission to break out of prison. The prison of complacency, the prison of pros and locs, the prison of gigging, the prison of ego, the prison of belittling. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Run. Hey, Sutton, bro, we be so, bro, I told somebody yesterday, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong or not. I told somebody yesterday, I said, as much as I love quartet, one of the biggest things that I see that hurts us is we care more about perception than fruit. We don't mind not being productive as long as we look pro. We will actually make unproductive decisions if it will make us look pro. We will go places we ain't got no business going if it'll make us look pro. I'll be a loc. That's fine. Oh, hey, DJ, I don't think you compressed the whole session, bro. I think you just gave me the files. You didn't give me the actual logic session. Bro, run. Hey, Dante on Instagram, y'all, but he can hear me. Dante, love them. Be there for them if they need you. But when it's time to make productive decisions, do not consider the opinions of unproductive people. When it's time to make productive decisions, do not consider the opinions of unproductive people. It's the craziest thing. Because quartet, our people will go through great lengths to look pro. Great lengths. I'm talking about great lengths. We ain't got no business 12 hours from home for a promoter who didn't pay us last year. We have no business, but hey, man, somebody gonna catch us on Facebook Live. We booked and busy. Hey, Trey Burgess said, booked, busy, and broke. I'm gonna inbox you. I want to chop it up with you. Yes, sir. Tay, that's perfect. Hey, so Chris, I don't know where you are right now. I don't know what you and Dez talked about. But forward is forward, fruit is fruit. We can gossip all day. We can talk about what ain't never been done before all day. We can talk about locs all day. We can ponder over what will and won't work. But I tell you one thing, you ain't finna go nowhere if you don't move. I'm talking about forward, that is. Because all movement ain't forward movement. And I think that's what our culture got confused. Like, booked and busy is the equivalent of working hard in a rat race. Here's the thing. Let's go. If the objective is to if the objective is to move forward, motion forward is more important than fast motion. If the objective is to move forward, speed is not more important than momentum forward. What am I saying? If I'm with a group of people and it's like, hey y'all, I want to go forward 1 mile today. If the objective is to go forward 1 mile today, you can walk, you can jog, you can run, you can crawl. As long as you move forward, you are productive. Working hard, listen to me, working hard, running in place, you cannot compare working hard, running into place to moving slow forward. We call slow forward moving people lokes, and we call fast people running in place pros. I ain't never seen nothing like it in my life. Doc, you see them, they sweating. They working, Doc. But it's not productive though. It's not forward. Yeah, they are exerting a lot of energy. Yes. If the metric is energy used, they win. If movement is the measure of success, they win. If mobility of the body is the metric of success, they win. But if forward is the measure of success, they big losing. Big old losing. Big old losing. Bruh. And I'm telling you, we have not been trained and we have not been mentored and we have not been guided to think forward. I don't know why. That's the daggone magic question. I don't know why, but I know I got to tell the truth and help my people. Let me tell you something. Slow forward is better than fast in circles. Slow forward is better than fast in circles. And we call fast in circles pros. I ain't never seen nothing like it. I ain't never seen nothing like it. Going fast in circles is booked and busy, y'all. Okay, I got to read what Dez said. Dez said, honestly, we're the only culture that treats the genre like the finish line instead of the industry. Wow. Instead of the industry that builds. The sound gave us the vibe, but the industry gave us stability. If we lock in and do it right, we will see different results. Absolutely, Dez. I can really stamp because I'm reading from far away. I'm sorry, y'all. I can really stamp on the reels. Is it you say stamp? I'm sorry, y'all. I can really stamp on the reels in this deal. No disrespect intended, but it's like we make up all these quartet awards versus putting in the work to hit billboards or Stellas, Grammys, Doves, and so much more, Emmys and all, or even locking in. I got to see that locking in. Just be you. Okay, let me unpack what that man just said. Okay. First of all, you just said something that I don't want either one of us to get slapped for. I don't want either one of us to get slapped for. But okay. This is the year of truth. I'm not going to be scared. And I'm finna be honest with y'all. I was about to be afraid of the controversy of truthfully responding to Dez's comment. But I'm breaking the chains on myself today. The truth of the matter is what Dez just said we need to think about. Is there anything wrong with the Quartet Awards themselves? No. But let me tell you the problem. What Dez is saying is, if we are not careful, if we are not strategic with the awards, they will reinforce the low bar. What Dez is saying is, if we don't step our game up as an industry we're a genre within a music industry that already exists, is what Dez is saying. And instead of us showing up to be on a high level, we're creating things that reinforce the low bar. So guess what? When you create things that reinforce the low bar, guess what you telling the genre? There's no need to do better because we have systems and awards in place that reward the mediocrity. So there's no need to be better. Because now we have a platform that will stroke your ego without telling you that actually ain't as good as it should be. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa! And I was going to avoid saying that to avoid controversy, but telling y'all the truth is more important. If we set up systems and awards that don't have criteria on the level of the other awards, what we're saying is you don't have to do better. What you're doing is good enough. Here's an award. And there's nothing wrong with us celebrating the genre. But what is wrong is there are not many people in the genre that are requiring the producers, the writers, the singers, the promoters. There ain't many voices in our genre telling us to step our game up. It's not enough voices in our genre telling our people to step their game up. Oh my God. Des, I said it. Somebody gonna clip this up. I'm gonna be on somebody's blog. I was gonna try to be politically correct, but I'm doing y'all a disservice if I'm politically correct. Dez's point is we need to do better because we're a genre that exists in a music industry that exists. And although it is good for us to have what we have and do our awards and have our showcases, we also should be saying, how do I position myself to be one of the greatest artists of all time, no matter what my genre is? Why do we have to, and Lisa said it one time about production in the bedroom. That junk was funny. It was funny. She was saying you got to be careful who you get to produce your record and who you get to mix it, because you can't let cousin Poo Poo produce it. And here's the thing. I'm in a room, so it ain't the location that's the problem. It's the lack. Lord Jesus, I'm going to get in trouble. Dez got me turned. Dez. Because here's the thing. People like me and Dez and other people, these are the conversations that I'm going to be honest, bae. My wife is in here. I'm going to be honest. The conversation I'm having with you right now is the kind of conversations that somebody like me and Dez and all of our peers will have in our cars and in our studio sessions, and we'll keep it between us, and we'll look for people who have the mind to work with us, And we'll just leave it at that. But the truth is, I'm saying it out loud today. The bar is low. The bar is low. The bar is low. The bar is low. All of your frustrations will no longer be frustrations if you require yourself to lift the standard. All of your frustrations will no longer be frustrations, because what it is you're frustrated with an industry not accepting you while not understanding what it takes to exist successfully in the industry. That's what Dez is saying. Here you go. They won't play my song on radio. It don't sound good and you ain't got no money. They not gonna play it. It don't sound good and you ain't got no money. They not gonna play it. Man, they hating on Quartet. No. You need to rewrite those verses. Then you need to go to a quality producer, and then you need to spend $1,500 to let John Blast mix it. Then you got to go get a radio promoter for at least $1,500 a month. Then it'll be on radio. The radio is not hating. They have a format and a standard and a requirement. Your song can't be 7 minutes long because you gigged in the studio talking about Paul and Silas. And then, man, because they won't play it. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. All right, my wife is in here. Babe, I did it. I did it. Dez, here's the thing, Dez. We got to let the cat out the bag, bro. Dez, we got to let the cat out the bag, man. The conversations we be having amongst ourselves, we got to have them out here in the open. And the truth of the matter is, it don't make no sense to be frustrated if you are unwilling to even look around and see what it takes to do better. Hey, Diedrich, 7 minutes long talking about hey, that's what we do, bro. So it's like, so to Dez's point, Dez won't trying to knock no awards. Dez is saying, having those, I wonder who in the quartet. Okay, I wonder who in the quartet industry took Erica up on her free music play opportunity. Wow. My wife said, I wonder who in the quartet industry took Erica up on her. Erica Campbell, who has a radio show, a syndicated radio show. Erica Campbell, member of Mary Mary, wife of Warren. That's who she's referring to. Y'all. Whew. We don't be having these conversations. Josh, what's up? We don't be having these conversations, y'all. These conversations are important because what we will do is we'll be like, hey, man, let's go get that record done. We'll spend a couple $1,000s to get 10 songs done, not written well, not produced well, not mixed well. And then we just be like, that's it. And we'll put available now, and then we'll put flyers up of our gigs, and then we'll do our shows. And the only video content that's online is where somebody else went live. Bro, that's just true, bro. Bro, that's just true. Hey, man, that's just true. I'd be so scared to be offensive, but that's true, bro. And if we want to see better, we got to do better. And if we want more, we got to do more. That's all it is to it. That's all it is to it, bro. And a lot of people like, what I was saying earlier. A lot of people be upset And a lot of people refer to when I talk like this to certain people, they talk to me about how it used to be. And although I'm not a disrespecter of how it used to be, but I am a realist of how it is right now. And how it used to be and how it is right now ain't the same. So I'm not disrespectful when I decide that what you're saying is not something I can use. I respect what you're saying because I respect all humans, but I can't use what you're saying. I can't use what you're saying. If I'm in 2025 trying to get if I'm in 2025 trying to get to a better place in my career as an artist, I'm not finna argue with you about when Willie Banks was on VCR, bruh. What you need to do is get some tapes, cause back in my day, they used to have the VCRs. You ain't got enough tapes. Huh? What is you talking about? I'm telling you, we need to go back to VHS tapes. Bruh, AI is out here whooping us, and you talking about VHS tapes. And then we not disrespectful when we decide that what you telling us is irrelevant. That is not disrespect. That's not disrespect. That's not disrespect. What Trey Burgess, you missed a lot, bruh. You missed a lot that you should be a part of because you that dude to help us. What I was saying was Dez came in here and done trigger me to say something that's gonna offend people. And I'm being honest, Trey, our bar is low. The quartet bar low. And we have people and systems that make us feel pro under the low bar. I'm just, all right, bet. Because I'm freeing people. Like, I can't be afraid of somebody being offended because there's a generation of people who hear my voice that need to hear my voice. And I'm not going to sacrifice the future of quartet so that somebody who used to be relevant don't feel disrespected. It is not disrespectful to tell the truth. It may be offensive to people with closed minds, but it's not disrespectful. Trey Burgess said, bar been low, bro. I'm not by myself, man. And it's like, you can't be frustrated. And it's like, we don't have enough platforms because we have a lot of voices. We have a lot of voices that tell us to do more of what's not working. We have too many people with loud voices telling us to do more of what's not working. The ones trying to push the envelope are the ones getting the least support, but the most criticism. Yep. Yeah. And so I'm just going to be an advocate for the group of people, not age specific, that are like, you know what? I want something different and I understand I got to do something different. Let's go. People like Trey, people like Dedrick, people like Jalen, people like Jeremiah, all us, Chris Ledbetter. Let's go, y'all. Lisa, Glorified, Men of Praise, all groups, people who see this now, people who gonna see this later. If you in here, inbox me, tag groups that y'all know trying to do something different. Let's get it going. Let's get it going, bro. And it's true. It's like Trey just made the point I made about moving forward versus working hard. What it is people who are moving forward slow, we call them lokes because they slow. I'm sorry. Slow and forward is, I prefer slow and forward than fast and nowhere. Nowhere fast is not, I'm not interested in nowhere fast. And running harder in place is not the solution. And we got people telling us that. You just, man, you ain't ran hard enough. You ain't ran hard enough and long enough. Bro, you ain't going nowhere, bro. What are you talking about? Hard enough and long enough is insane. I mean, as long as you moving, that's all that matters. Moving forward. As long as you moving forward, I don't care if you got this kick, scream, and holler. Move forward, bro. All right, so some stuff still missing, DJ, because I'm trying to the way you did it, some stuff is still missing. I got the music. I might have to just get you to export the vocals by themselves because you sent me. What I need you to do is the folder that the session is in. I need you to compress the whole folder that the session is in, not just the Logic file, because now I have your MIDI, but I don't have your audio. And the file you gave me is not. Yeah, I got the. I need you to send it to me again because I don't have the vocals. The vocals are missing. Slow motion is better than no motion for sure. Listen, not even that, Dietrich. In quartet, slow motion forward is better than fast motion in place. That's what I'm. I need y'all to hear me. I need y'all to hear me. Dietrich says slow motion is better than no motion. Here's the thing. There's a lot of quartet artists who are in heavy motion. It's just not forward motion. Listen to me. And we are trying to make hard work and productivity equal, and it's not equal. It's not equal. We live in 2025 where you can type something in ChatGPT and it spit back out that's way more productive than if you spent 2 weeks in a library not knowing what you're looking for. And we are saying it's not successful if we didn't about kill ourselves to get nowhere. Killing ourselves to get nowhere is not pro. Yes, Trey sprinting. I'm talking about booked and busy. Booked and busy. Dumping on these niggas. We dropped tonight. Man, you moving that slow, man. You a loke, man. You moving too slow. Booked and busy. I'm talking about, and it's like we have been made to believe that going hard is successful, and it's not. Show me the fruit. 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 If you can't show me fruit, if you cannot show me fruit, I'm not disrespectful when I disregard what you're saying. You shall know the tree not by how tall it is, but by the fruit it bear. It don't matter how big the tree is if ain't no fruit on it. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? We measuring success by how big the tree is, not by the fruit on it. Whoa! Jokers is hungry because there ain't no fruit. And we comparing sizes of trees that are fruitless. My tree bigger than yours. Both of them are barren. You can't feed nobody. Yeah, the tree big, but you can't feed nobody. Jesus. A grapevine can feed people. Are y'all listening to me? Pros are big fruitless trees. That's what I'm saying. Pros are big fruitless trees. That's what I'm saying. If just in case somebody don't understand what I'm saying, we have been taught that big trees is pro, but we not feeding nobody because the trees don't produce nothing. It don't produce fruit. In the Bible, Jesus went by a fig tree. It won't produce a fruit. He said, skirt, kill that mug. Because we can't, if it's fruitless, it's wasting space. So when I decide that your advice is no good for me because my desire is to produce fruit that is not disrespectful. If I say, God has called me to feed a generation of people, your tree has to produce fruit in order to feed. It doesn't matter how big the tree is if it doesn't produce fruit. And anybody who tells you you're unsuccessful because your tree isn't big enough, they leading you down the wrong path. And the big trees can get in as many conversations as they want to, bashing the fruit bearers. You can't be worried about that, because here's the thing. Entertaining them, you ain't. If you out here to feed, the objective is to feed. You've been called to produce fruit to feed. Your focus should be on making sure people are fed. Your energy should be spent making sure people are fed. Do y'all hear what I'm saying, bro? Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Connie, facts, they can't feed themselves, let alone. Connie, listen to me. I know there is a generation of people that are frustrated and discouraged because of the people above them. But the people above us, yes, man. Back in the day, I know what y'all used to do. I know you didn't get to live out your dreams the way you wanted to. I know you frustrated. I know you upset. But taking it out on the younger generation and making them feel like they are not productive because they are not doing things the way you used to do them. People are tired of being fruitless. DJ, what up? Listen, y'all. Hear me and hear me good, bro. It is not disrespectful to disregard the advice of a fruitless tree. Listen to me. It is not disrespectful to disregard the advice of a fruitless tree. I'm going to say it again. It is not disrespectful to disregard the advice of a fruitless tree. Imagine having a desire to become a millionaire and asking for advice from somebody broke. And they say, no, man, you ain't doing it right. You need to be doing this, this, and this. See, what you need to do is, if your objective is to become a millionaire, a broke person can't tell you what you need to do. The blind can't lead those with the vision. They can't. They can't. You can't give me no strategy on how to be successful, unsuccessful self. The only thing you can teach me is everything that I should never, ever do in my life. Why? Because I'm looking at your fruit. If you can't never pay your band, if you keep going to promoters who don't pay you,
If you still bashing every quartet group in the world, if you still critiquing and find everything negative wrong with everybody record, if you still know everybody, if you know everybody's sex life but don't got a good home life, you can't tell me what I need to do, man. And I'm not disrespectful for disregarding your fruitless tree. I'm not disrespectful for disregarding your fruitless tree. Get that out of here. Cut that mess down. I'm going to cut it down. Straight like that. Your presence does not belong in my life because I've been called to bear witness and produce fruit. You can't tell me what to do, man. You can't. What you mean I can't tell you what to do? I've been doing this for 50 years. You have been a barren, fruitless tree for 50 years, and you're going to tell me what it takes for me to be fruitful? You can't. You literally can't. You literally can't. Jay, what up? You literally can't. You literally can't. Now, let's have a different conversation. If you've been, this is good. If you have been doing it for 50 years and you have planted multiple trees that are bearing much fruit, not only can you tell me how to do it, you have seed to invest. Enemy starting. If you've been doing it for a while and you have multiple trees bearing much fruit, not only can you tell me what to do and how to do it, you have seed. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. If you can't sit down with a person and they say, this is how you should do it, this is when you should do it, and here are seeds to start. These are seeds that come from the fruit of the trees that I've planted that has grown. If that ain't the conversation, run. Granddaddy, grandmama, uncle, daddy, sister, cousin that you grew up with who y'all used to pretend y'all were playing in the group with diapers. I don't care who it is. If they have not produced fruit, considering their opinion is not wise, bro. It's just not wise, bro. It's just not wise, bro. It's just not wise. So what Dez was saying was, he ain't knocking nothing. But eventually somebody has to say, y'all know the Barlow, right? And here's the thing about us. As soon as somebody tell us the Barlow, our response is not, okay. So here's the truth. Here's what the response should be. You are OG. Somebody come in you and tell you the Barlow. This is what the response should be. Ooh, man. God, that hurt when you said the Barlow. It kind of crushed me because I've been doing this for so long that it hurts to hear that the bar is low. But I do understand that I need and want more. And I do see that what I've been doing hasn't been working the way I desire it to work. What does it take to lift the bar? Oh no. Where we from, the Barlow? What you mean the Barlow? Boy, I was doing this before there was even any bars that existed. How you gonna tell me? A Barlow? Man, you out here, that internet mess ain't nothing. Okay. So then what happens is people like my peers, people like Trey, here's the thing. People like Trey, produce his own album, and then work with artists in other genres that appreciate his gift. And y'all know what we do? Man, now he arrogant, man. He done got his little million streams. Now he think he know everything and he too good to work with. I'm gonna tell y'all something I told one of my brothers yesterday. One of my close brothers. I ain't gonna say his name because I like to. First of all, I'm not a name dropper, and number two, I wouldn't say his name because I haven't talked to him. But I told him this, and I'm gonna just be honest. This is just a time where I need to be honest. I told my bro yesterday. I said, "It's two things that's gonna make me move: the money or the mind." You either gotta pay me so much that I don't care how you think, or you have to have the mind that makes my energy and time and gift worth investing. You gotta have the mind or the money. You gotta have the mind or the money. I put my faith in God. If I got to stretch my dollars to avoid from getting in a situation working on a project with a group of people with small minds, I'm going to just make the dollar stretch. Because the stress and the turmoil and the frustration of getting through that project is not worth the $250. It's not worth the $250. Do y'all know how much hell producers go through for $300? Do y'all know the pain and the frustration of having unproductive conversations with people to get $75? Brock Mack is in the building. Bruh, the mind or the money? Pay me my price to provide a service, or have something in you worth me investing in. To everybody under the sound of my voice watching this video, listen to me. At 33 years old, I'm too claustrophobic to deal with. Woo! Woo, Jay. Jay, I got chills. Brock, listen to me, dog. Now I'm going to talk to Brock. You dope. Don't stop what you doing. Every day that you wake up, say, God, show me who you've called me to. Show me who you've called me to. Show you who you've called me to. Whether that be artists, other musicians, people with money that are willing to invest. Let me tell you something. Brock Mack, listen to me, dog. You that dude, man. And people, okay. It is people like Brock that give me the courage to face the backlash of being honest. Listen, it just came full circle. When Dez commented what he's commented, when Dez commented what he commented, I was this close from just being politically correct. But it's people like Brock. It's people like Morgan that's like, nah, my guy. I need you to say it and say it loud. Because here's what I don't want. I don't want Brock to get discouraged because of a small-minded quartet group give him $1,500 and want 10 songs and then don't do nothing with it. And then talk bad about him because he didn't do enough for them. I don't want Brock to spend a year working on a 10-song album for $1,500 for a group that ain't going to do nothing with it. and then bash him to other people when they go to another producer 2 years later about what he did and didn't do. And I don't want them to sit in a room with another producer saying, yo, man, y'all first album was cool, man. But Brock, man, he need to fix his drums. I mean, he cool and all, but I mean, the mix. The group singing at local programs ain't mentioned Brock one time. Gigging they life away. With CDs they ain't selling, content they ain't making. And Brock spent that $1,500 a long time ago just to stay alive in the economy where the people on the right are going insane. I don't want Brock to have to go through that. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to come up here every day until there's a generation of people he can work with where we all can win. Ain't no pros, ain't no lokes. It's just fruit or no fruit. There ain't no pros, there ain't no lokes. It's just fruit or no fruit. That's it. That's it. It's fruit or no fruit. That's it. Miss me with the pros and lokes. There's no such thing. Quartet, miss me with the pros and lokes. There's no such thing. In 2025, there's fruit and no fruit. You either moving forward or you stuck in place. The effort, I don't judge productivity on effort. Why? Because I can run hard and go nowhere. I can be running hard nowhere. I'm not judging success off effort. Listen to me. And I don't want Diedrich out here singing the way he sings, playing the way he plays, spending time with his craft, and then get out there with his group and get knocked down because promoters is insane. So guess what I'm going to say? Diedrich, build your group up. Get your skills up on vocals. Get your skills up in tracking. Get your skills up, boy. And God is going to put you in rooms that change your life. And you ain't going to have to be in no school coliseum for $75. You ain't going to have to take your keyboard and pack your group and put up no system for $400 12 hours away. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. I'm going to tell him he don't have to do that because he don't. But guess what? Our predecessors are going to tell him, man, you need to be out there on that slab. You need to pay your dues. Ain't no dues. It's fruit or no fruit. There ain't no dues. There's fruit or no fruit. And making people feel like they have to slave their way into deserving validation, that's witchcraft. I'm going to just say it. Making people feel like they have to slave their way into earning your validation. That is abuse. That is psychological, emotional abuse. That is trauma. You are traumatizing people so that you can feed your ego. They ain't good enough until I say they good enough. If they ain't went through all that I went through, they don't deserve to be validated by me. And until they show me that, I don't care what they accomplish. If it don't look like what I think is successful, I'm not putting a stamp on it until they slave in my face. That's not cool. That's not cool. And people do that to us too much that don't bear no fruit. They ain't got no fruit. But they can tell us about our key drums. They can tell us about our auto-tune. But they can't tell us how to produce fruit. Because they don't know how to produce fruit. They are fruitless and have been for a very long time. There ain't no pros and there ain't no lokes. There's fruit and no fruit. You cannot tell me how to get somewhere you have never been. And it is not disrespectful to disregard your opinion and advice if you don't produce fruit. I said it. I got Diedrich in here. Whoo, I can feel it. I got Diedrich in here. I got Brock in here. I don't know who else is in here, but I know I've been doing this since I was 11 years old. And I know I have been I have been ridiculed and criticized and mocked and manipulated and used by fruitless trees, y'all. And my loyalty to them trees has kept me quiet and away for a very long time. But there is a generation who will have the courage to break out of their chains because of my courage to be honest. Yeah, they may have let you sit in the room. Yeah, they may have let you play on records. Yeah, they may have walked you in certain doors even if they didn't give you what you deserved. You can be grateful and still be honest. Listen to me, y'all. You can be grateful and still be honest. You can be grateful and still be honest. You can be grateful that a father laid down with your mother and created you. But you can also be honest when you waited at the door for him and he never showed up. Creating me does not take away from the trauma of you not showing up. I can be thankful that you laid down with my mama and created me and still say it hurt that I sat by the door with them bags and you never showed up. And people will make you feel like because they created you, calling out where they missed the mark is disrespect. It's not. It's the truth. It's just true. And you just have to. I didn't stand me up. You did. Yeah, it hurts. But you did it, buddy. Whatever choice you decided to make led to you not showing up for me. That's something you have to deal with. It's not disrespectful when I help other people by telling them that they're good enough. So when I look at Brock and when I look at Diedrich and say, hey, man, I know they didn't show up for you, but you're good enough. And if I ever have a place, if I ever have a space, and if God ever grants me with a platform, I promise you, I'm going to do everything I can to walk you into every door you deserve, and people going to know your name before they know mine. Why am I doing that? Because when people had an opportunity to do that for me, they did not. Why? Because they wanted people to see their big fruitless tree. Yeah. Hey, bro. I have a responsibility to create opportunities for people. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I tell y'all about TET support. I come up here every day. I do what I do. Um, I'm writing songs. I've always written songs with some of the dopest people in the world, records that y'all may hear one day. But it's like I have a responsibility to speak for a generation of people who have been abused so that others could show people they big fruitless trees. It's just that. It's just that. There's no such thing as pros and lokes. Dietrich, Brock, um, Jay, um, Jay. It is what it is, and it's like we spent like we love where we come. We love where we came from so much so that we have been protecting predators. We've been protecting predators. I'm just going. I mean, there's too many of y'all watching me right now for thank you, baby. Oh man, there's too many people watching me right now for me to not be honest. Protecting predators are insane. Let's talk real. Do y'all know how many women have been through a lot with men and can't tell the story because they family want to protect the man? That's how we are in TET. We don't want the family look bad. We don't want the family to look bad, so we're not going to tell on the man. We're going to disregard the experience of the woman, of the girl. We're going to disregard the experience of the girl to protect the family's image. Because because here's the thing. If that was done to you, somebody had to be irresponsible for that man to get access to you. So instead of having to risk the fact of finding out who was irresponsible, we just need you to be quiet. We do that in music. We got young bulls that's now in their 20s, 30s that they quiet. They quiet when they should be very loud to protect people. Protecting predators. Yep, afraid to break the code, Jay. Protecting. We protecting. I ain't protecting no more predators. I ain't doing it. I ain't protecting no predators, bro. Hey man, I'm at that point now where it's like, bro, there's too many. There's too many people. There's too many people who looking to me. Mm-mm. And I promise y'all, bruh, if people knew, man, some people know because there are people who close to me that really know. But bruh, kicking the door down and bringing everybody who deserves it. Woo-wee. Brock, you still in here? Dietrich, you still in here? Y'all, listen to me, man. Listen to me, Brock. Ain't no such things. Ain't no such thing as pros and lokes, y'all. There's fruit and no fruit. And here's the thing about it. You are going to meet people who are perceived as pros with no fruit. You are going to see people that are perceived as lokes that bear much fruit. And what you want to do is, Brock, Diedrich, listen to me, y'all two in particular. When it's time for y'all to get opportunities, when people call y'all to produce or write or play, don't do it based on hype. Don't do it based on what people saying. I don't care what they promise you. I don't care what they tell you they can pay you. I don't care where they tell you they been and where they going and what number the billboard they song on, cause they probably lying. Search for the fruit. Search for the fruit. Search for the fruit. If you don't see no fruit, run. The thin line I struggled with was being grateful for the opportunity versus protecting the ones coming after me. You are knee deep right now. Hey, listen, let me tell you something about that. Let me address what Jay just said. Because what people will make you believe is You wouldn't be where you are without me, so I don't want to hear what I should have done better. Let me repeat that. People will make you feel like you wouldn't be where you are without them, so you don't have the right to say what they should have done better. Telling me what I should have done better is disrespect when you would not be here if it weren't for me. You right. I would not be here if it wasn't for you. But I'd also be further if you cared more about pouring than you did flaunting your big fruitless tree. Yes, Dad, you laid down with my mama and y'all made me, but you weren't there when I needed you. So I am grateful and thankful that I have breath in my body, but I also have trauma in my soul. Two things can be true at the same time. And it's not disrespectful when I say, y'all know what? I used to sit at the screen door with my bag with my mama, knowing my daddy won't gonna show up, and she let me sit there anyway with my bag, and I sat there all day and all night. When I get ready to tell people that, now that I'm a man, my daddy can be ashamed. He can be embarrassed. He can be frustrated. He can even be mad. But he can't say I'm being disrespectful. Suge is in the building. Suge Spencer is another. I wrote a song for Suge the other day. Shout out to the Joy Girls. Gang, gang. Suge, let me tell you something. Let me talk to Suge for a minute because I can't see Suge's comments. Suge, I don't know where you are in your career with your group. I don't know what you've been through with your group. I don't know what you've had to sacrifice or what you had to lose for your group. But listen to me. The sound that you have is a sound that we need. And now all you have to do is embrace the sound of old without being a prisoner of the mind of old. All you have to do now is say, God, help me to separate the sound from the mind. Help me to embrace the sound of old while being freed of the mind of old. Suge, once you do that, it is over. It's not the sound that's the problem. It's never been the sound of quartet that's problematic. When people say they don't like quartet, they not talking about the sound because there ain't no gospel, R&B, or nothing without quartet. But people can decide the the low bar is not something I'm interested in entertaining. People have the right to say that. Suge, bruh. Y'all don't even know Suge. Suge commented on a post of mine. I can't even see Suge's comments right now. But Suge posted on a comment of my post about Lisa Knows, 10 Toes Down, Gang Gang Gang, Evo World, the Browns, gang. Boy, y'all know. If you don't know how I feel about Lisa, boy, that's my girl, bro. I posted about her. Suge commented. Y'all, I watched 2 videos of the Joy Girls and was like, boop. Put in the right situation, they out of here. And Suge and her girls, her camp, they are an example of a gift with the right mind. I don't know their situation, but I do know that if her and her girls and her people got the right mind, is a wrap because the sound is so authentic and it's so nostalgic and it's so necessary. The only thing that could mess them up is if her or somebody in the camp think it's 1999. That's it. That's the only thing that can get. That's the only thing that can mess them up. Is if somebody in the camp still think it's 2008, or want to prove points more than they want to produce fruit. A lot of people want to prove points more than they want to produce fruit. A lot of people want to prove points more than they want to produce fruit. I need you to understand how long I've been doing this, and I need you to put some respect on my name, not my fruit. I'm sorry. Idolizing your name while neglecting that you haven't fed anybody is only good for you. You ain't produced nothing. You ain't fed nobody. But you want your name to be great. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. And essing on people to try to make your name greater really don't work. And then expecting people to be quiet about it is asinine. But it happens. It happens. So I'm up here so that Brock and Dietrich can be like, yo, bro, there's somebody out here fighting for us, number one. And number two, we may not have to neglect this genre to be successful. Man, you're helping me today. I have so many different emotions regarding this. Barely hanging on to TET by a thread. Dude, see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who are barely hanging on to TET by a thread because of trauma. TJ, what's goody? There are a lot of people barely hanging on to TET by a thread because of trauma. Somebody told me yesterday, man, that junk dead. Man, them jokers over there, that's dead. I ain't with it. And it's like, dang. So many people feel like that. And here's the thing. Let's go. So many of our OGs get offended. But it's like, open your eyes and realize that you caused the trauma. And you want to be celebrated because you made a baby, and you want everybody to be quiet that you didn't show up for your child. Yes, you made a baby, but you didn't show up for your child. And then once your child get old, to say the phone worked both ways is insane. I'm using the father. Okay, just in case people don't understand, let me explain it. I know y'all ain't stupid, but let me make it plain. Quartet and the OGs are the father. The young generation that are traumatized is the child. Dad wants to be adored and respected and celebrated for creating the child, while not being held accountable for not being present. You were supposed to come get me. You never did. I only saw you every other weekend. And when you did pick me up, you took me to your mama house. I don't know how much fathering I should be celebrating, except for being created. That's not disrespectful. That's the facts that are a result of your choices and lack thereof. What do you think? It's not rocket science. If you want it to be spoken highly of, you probably should have made different decisions. What in the world? Suge said, God, I thank you for this. You are so right. Forget the name. My fruit means so much to me. Yes, the sound, the one soul moving forward. Ooh, you're in. Listen, Suge, that's what's more important. Suge, I don't know how long you've been in here, but I've been saying this for a while in this live. There ain't no such thing as pros and lokes. It's just fruit and no fruit. There ain't no such thing as pros and lokes. There's fruit and no fruit. There's no such thing as pros and lokes. There's fruit and no fruit. I'm going to Facebook so I can see Suge comments. I'm going to Facebook on my phone so I can see Suge's comments. Because I'm going to talk to Suge for just a few minutes, y'all, and I need to see what Suge is saying. Because I seen Suge the other day. I don't know how. I don't know how I seen Suge. Suge, where you commenting from? Which page? Because I don't see your comments right here either. Suge, post a comment right now. Let me see if I see it. Because I need to talk to Suge for a minute. I don't know Suge's situation, y'all. But I'm going to talk to her anyway. You dope, bruh. And your group dope. I'm talking about, Suge. I watched 2 videos of your group. Then I went to pick up my son, and the song that I wrote for y'all came to my head while driving home from picking up my son. After watching 2 videos, Suge, I did not know you existed before you commented on that video of Lisa. But guess what my prayers been, God? Hey, I need you to do what you gonna do, and whoever that's assigned to me, you gonna bring them, and whoever gonna subscribe and become a member, they gonna be a member, and whoever ain't, and whoever came before me who thinks I'm disrespectful, there's nothing I can do about that because I'm not being disrespectful. God, I can't stop telling the truth. And I almost went back into the hole when Dez posted that comment. I've been following you for a long time. Suge, I had no idea. Suge, I can see your comment. Suge says she been following me for a long time. I had no idea. That's insane, Suge. I had no idea. But Suge, y'all dope, bro. I watched 2 videos and wrote that song, and I don't know, like I said, I'm going to keep saying it because it's true. I don't know the situation, and I've never heard or seen Suge in my life until the other day. And I'm telling you right now, Suge. I'm telling you right now, Suge. Do not get caught up in the rat race of gigging. Do not get caught up in the rat race of janky promoters, as they say. Do not get caught up in the rat race of going up and down the highway nowhere for nothing. Suge, you and your group are so dope that if y'all sat in a garage in the country and sung like y'all be singing and did that very often, I'm going to talk to you offline, Suge. The game would change for you and your group in a way that you never imagined, and you will not have to hit the road to do it. It's not about the road, Suge. I don't know how you think, Suge. So I'm talking to you and everybody at the same time. It's not about the road. It's not about busting houses. You can produce fruit without leaving home so that when you do leave home, you can take care of your people. Suge, y'all got it. Suge, y'all have it. Y'all have what it takes to change the game and only leave home when it makes sense. I seen it with my own eyes. We just got management. Mama Chris, I love Mama Chris. I love Mama Chris with my whole soul. I love Mama Chris with my whole soul, Suge. Suge, we have to talk. Me and you and Mama Chris have to talk. We have to talk. I love Mama Chris with my whole soul. Like literally. Y'all got what it takes, and it don't take the road. You don't need the road. You don't. Listen, you don't. Bro, y'all know y'all don't need the road. And when I say the road, I don't mean, well, quite literally, you can be successful artists without doing shows. However, that's not what I mean. When I say you don't need the road, what I mean is going to this anniversary, being on this package with 50 groups, driving 12 hours away from home to not get any money. You don't have to do that to be successful. Going from city to city, state to state on a highway belt line in the Bible Belt on 95 and on the other highways. I don't know the highways in the other cities or states. I just know the highways in my where I'm at. You don't have to do that to be successful. I have so many songs. You're the first person that I have ever let pen me a song. I have literally 1,000 songs. Listen to me. God just gives me song. And listen to me. Number one, Suge, you having 1,000 songs means you're a songwriter. So let's talk about that. Which means I'm not saying you don't know this, Suge, but I'm gonna say this because I'm talking to you and everybody who needs to hear this that's gonna watch it. Which means you have multiple ways of being used by God without you always having to be the voice. And there are so many artists, and there are so many artists, and there are so many artists who would be further along in their life and career and their finances if they understood that they shouldn't sing every song they write. Because Suge could write a song for Jacqueline Carr. Suge could write a song for Leandria Johnson. Them 1,000 songs. She could take one of them 1,000 songs and give one to Leandria Johnson. She could give one to Jacqueline Carr. She could give one to Brianna Babanu. Boy, what? Suge need to be like, okay, I'm gonna be doing my group thing, and I'm also gonna find a studio that I can work with that's cheap, or I'm gonna get a laptop in my house. I'm gonna call Rajay and some of his friends and some more people I know, and I'm gonna demo every song that I ever wrote, and then I'm gonna pray over them and see who I should pitch them to. I'm gonna make y'all woo 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 do 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 do. But no, I wrote it. Suge, this is not you, but this is a lot of people. I'm not saying this is you. I wrote it. I'm gonna sing it, and I'm gonna bust houses singing it. And I don't want nobody to sing it but me, because if they sing a song better than I would have sung it, I'm gonna want to take it back. So you rather keep the song for yourself and your 5 fans than to give it to a national recording artist who got a label and a radio budget for you to get a publishing check, and you broke. If you broke, you might, I don't, if you broke, hope they sang it better than you and get it to them so you can get some royalties. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, bro. And sometimes, I don't know Suge's situation, but sometimes people don't think to do that. And here's my issue. Here's my issue. A lot of times people don't think to do that because there are people around them that are not going to tell them to do that because they benefit from people not knowing that. There are people who right now could give you the advice that you need to change your life and tell you exactly what to do. But it may mean you walking away from them. And sometimes people prefer to keep you under their thumb than to tell you what you need to surpass anything they've ever accomplished. Yep, because you don't fit me, the joint girl, so I totally. Yes, and Suge, don't limit what. Here's the thing, and I'm not saying you are Suge. I got to keep saying that. No, I don't. Suge, a grown woman. I'm so used to being politically correct that I can't even just say what I'm saying. Tank is a great. Tank is a great. Tank, as great of a singer he is, has gotten most of his money from the songs he's wrote for other artists. Y'all, Tank, the R&B singer, have written and produced 100% some of the dopest songs y'all ever heard in y'all life. And that's what I was about to say to Suge. Suge, check this out, Suge. Um, God is able to do just what he said he would do. He's going to fulfill every promise to you. Don't give up on God because he won't give up on you. He's able. Exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask or think, according to the power that worketh in you. Here's the thing. God can blow your mind by multiplying what you limited if you allow God to multiply it. What am I saying? If Suge is willing to offer her gift back to God and say, God, this gift of songwriting, I lift up to you. If she allowed God to multiply it, she could be a successful songwriter and the lead singer of the Joy Girls for fun. She could make a whole living off being a songwriter, getting publishing checks and buy a house off of it, and serve and sing with the Joy Girls because she loves singing with the Joy Girls, and not have to make no money and be able to pay the Joy Girls from the publishing checks. Man, but I don't know. I don't know. Is that crazy? Oh, she said you don't have to keep saying that. I know you have my best interest at heart. Never offended. Thank you, Suge. Cause so many people be so offended, Suge. TJ, TJ, let me talk to my brother TJ. The abilities that we have, bro, it's insane. And God can multiply our gifts if we can just, of course, if it's let me talk to y'all. If it's exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think, watch this. That means we don't have to fathom greater. We have to be willing to allow God to turn it into greater. We have to be willing to receive greater, even if we can't conceive greater. And a lot of times we don't even offer it up to God for him to multiply it because we're not willing to receive greater. That's a limiting belief. God, I don't know what you can do. I don't know how you're going to do it, but I believe you can do all things. So I offer this gift back up to you. And however you decide to multiply it, I will be grateful. I'm just going to show up every day and work. And then what happens? Oh my God. Suge calls me and say, Roger, you ain't going to believe this. What's up? I'm on my way to New York. For what? Man, Kirk Franklin is producing this song that Shirley Caesar is featured on, and it's a song that I wrote. What happened, Suge? I was in the garage with my group like you told me to, and I said, me and my group gonna sing this song I wrote. It's not our song, but it is a song that I wrote, and I really love it. I hope y'all like it. And Kirk's manager seen it and sent it to Kirk, and Kirk called Shirley's team, and now I'm on my way to New York because that's where they meeting at. And I'm here doing this session. Oh my God. Y'all, that kind of stuff happens to people. That kind of stuff actually happens to people. But you have to be like, God, I will not put you or me in a box. God, I will not put you or me in a box. You have to decide not to put God or you in a box. That's a decision. That's a conscious decision. But where we come from, it's like when it's time for us to talk, people not comfortable talking unless we sitting in the box. We can sit. They'll argue with you. We'll sit in the box and they'll argue. They'll argue you down sitting in the box. But what about the rest of the room? The rest of the room, I've been sitting in this box for 50 years. Okay. What if I think, but I feel like I've been called greater to the box. Greater, I've been called to more than the box. More than the box? That don't impress me. You walking outside this box don't impress me. Well, I'm not doing what I'm doing to impress you. So you being disrespectful now? No, I'm just saying that I feel like I've been called to greater. What's greater than this? It worked for me. When you're dealing with them kind of people, you just quietly get out of the box and you walk away, never to return to that conversation or that box again. You can still love that person. You can still talk to that person, but you shouldn't have that conversation in that box ever again. If you want to be free, leave that box and that conversation alone. I don't even know how I started talking what I'm talking. TJ, brother, my brother. Woo! Brother, leave that conversation. You can love the person, but leave that box and that conversation alone. Get up out of there. I love everybody, but the truth is the truth, and it's going to be the truth. And it's like, man, people are. Here's the thing. Okay, let me clarify. I just understood. Here's the thing. When people respond to truth as if you disrespected them, it's because they can't handle the weight of being embarrassed. When you tell the truth and people spin it as you disrespecting them, it's because they cannot handle the weight of being embarrassed. Because what happens after truth? There's only two things you can do with the truth. Deny or hold yourself accountable. There's only two things you can do with truth. Deny it or hold yourself accountable. Or just go rogue and say they being disrespectful. So did they make it up? Nah, it's just disrespectful. So that's true. I mean, I guess so, but I got reasons for doing what I did. And beyond that, they wouldn't be where they are if it weren't for me. So you going to disregard it? You ain't going to take accountability? Well, have you changed? No, that's kind of why I want them to be quiet. That's why I feel disrespectful. Because not only is it true, I'm embarrassed. And not only am I embarrassed, I'm still that way. Whoa! Whoa! So when somebody get ready to tell the truth about your predatory behavior, you are trying to smear them because you still a predator. And exposure is not what you signed up for today. Being exposed and being held accountable is not what you signed up for. And the person that's telling the truth, we can't have that. Because just like me too, what if me telling the truth makes somebody else be like, man, that happened to you? Bro, I came before you or I came after you and the same thing happened to me. Word? If we all start a coalition, you're through. Because that's how people end up in prison who was famous for 30 years. That's how they end up in prison. People like me end up saying, hey, I actually didn't have a pleasant experience. And even though y'all thought it was all good and I was showing up to do these gigs and we was doing this and that and all the hype, nah, I was getting abused behind closed doors. You? Me too. Me too. Oh, you locked up now, Doc. I don't know why they want to work with you. You should have made, that's not our fault. You should have made better choices. You should have made better choices. So now, at an old age with no fruit, now you're locked up. Hey, that's not my, that's not on me. That's not on me. That's not on me. That's not on me. So now I'll be like, first of all, I'm never going to abuse anybody. I'm always going to give people the credit they deserve. If I ever find out any information that is helpful, I'm telling people. And God knows, if enough people sign up to be TET support members, and we can get a steady stream of revenue for me to move around and call on people that deserve to be called on, y'all gonna see something. Y'all gonna see, boy, y'all gonna see something. But I'm just going to be the leader of the pack of the new generation that says, number one, there's no such thing as pros and lokes, only fruit and no fruit. I need everybody to write that down. And every group member, every band member in quartet, there ain't no such thing. When somebody be like, man, they a loke, ain't no such thing. Man, them jokers some pros, ain't no such thing. It's just fruit and no fruit. And guess what? You can bust a house and still not produce fruit. Guess what? You can produce much fruit and people not even jump up and holler. Judging the success of a performance by reaction and not impact is where we losing. That's how people end up being on stage over their time. Because they're looking for a reaction they can see to determine if they were successful. And they'll hog the clock and go over their time because their ego needs to see something before they know they did well. So they miss the opportunity to be impactful because they were looking for a reaction to tell them that they busted the house. So now they over their time. Versus a person that just sang their song. The Lord is in his holy temple, let all the earth keep silent. Instead of doing your song and letting the person in the back who didn't stand cry that you don't see because the light's dark, and then they send you an email a week later and say, hey man, I was on the verge of doing something that I can't reverse, but that song saved my life. The burden on me was so heavy that I couldn't even lift my hands or my arms or my head, but that song saved my life. We be looking for the wrong things. We be looking for the wrong things. We be looking for the wrong things. Because a person can jump and shout at your drive out of emotion. A person can jump up and shout at your drive because they want to be seen on the Facebook Live. That don't mean it was successful. And a person could sit there and not respond at all, stale-faced, and life be changed forever. So the measure of success should be, God, did I come and do what you would have me to do? I don't care what the crowd does or don't do. God, I have 15 minutes and I gave 10 because at that 9th minute and 30 seconds, I could feel that the assignment was over. So I gave them back 5 minutes and then got an inbox before we can get home from 3 people whose lives was changed. The other person, they went home without none of their money, but everybody shouted. See? You see big fruitless trees? You see what I'm saying? Big fruitless trees. You see what I'm saying? Y'all following me? Y'all following me? You see what I'm saying? Suge, you got this, bro. If you're still in here, Suge, you got this. In life, in ministry, when it comes to your job, in every area of your life, bro, you got this, bro. Don't be afraid to be honest about where you come from. Don't be afraid to hold people accountable who have done stuff they should not have done to you. And don't be afraid to do what's next, regardless of what people think you should or shouldn't be doing, Suge. They can't. No fruit can't tell fruit what to do. No fruit can't tell fruit what to do. Fruitless tree can't instruct on how to grow a fruitful tree, Suge. It's impossible. You are incapable of giving me productive advice. Because in order for you to be able to give me productive advice, you would have had to have first done it yourself. The only thing that I can learn from you is what not to do and where not to be. That's it. Suge, people don't deserve what you're willing to give, Suge. Suge, people don't deserve what you're willing to give. And you do not have to feel guilty when you decide in this next season of your life that they don't deserve it no more. You don't have the energy, Suge. You're tired. Suge, you're tired. You're tired because you are loyal to people who don't deserve the energy, Suge. It's not disloyal, Suge, to say I'm through. You're not disloyal. You're actually loyal to yourself. Give yourself some grace and some room and some life and some elevation. Treat yourself like you treat them and treat them like they treat you. Whoa! Treat yourself like you treat them and treat them like they treat you. And guess what? Out of nowhere, boy, it feel like you done drunk 5 Red Bulls. Oh my gosh, Suge. People don't understand my praise. Suge, and when you have a story like that, Suge, you can tell that story and sing them songs in your living room, and you ain't got to bust a house to do it. You ain't got to go across the country to bust a house to do it, Suge. With that story and your gift, you can change the world from your living room, Suge. You don't have to go across the country and bust a house to do it, Suge. My son crying, y'all. I'm sorry. You don't have to bust a house to do it, Suge. You don't have to go across the country to bust a house to do it, Suge. Telling that story you just told in the comments and singing your song in the house with the girls with somebody on the keyboard is more impactful than going across the country and the person on the front row going live, Suge. I'm going to keep drilling it because you and everybody else need to hear it, because people have hoodwinked us to believe that if we ain't on the slab busting houses, it's not successful. Those are big fruitless trees. Those are people running fast in place. Big fruitless trees. People running fast in place, telling you what's pro and what ain't. No. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. Yeah, it may cause you to be perceived as a pro, but it's not going to put you in a position to produce fruit. It's not going to put you in a position to produce fruit, y'all. Y'all hear my heart? I'm here for y'all. I'm not here for people who don't think you pro if you ain't working hard. Busting a sweat in place is not productive. It's not productive. If the objective is to move forward, it's not productive. I'm gonna start telling my stories. I'm gonna need somebody to bail me out of jail. But okay, Jay, let me tell you something, bro. Please tell them. It's tough coming from me telling you to tell them because I don't tell all of mine. So I can't be the black pot calling the kettle black. But man, people need to hear our stories, bro. They need to hear them, man, because I know OGs. I know people who came before us. I know y'all didn't mean no harm, but y'all caused harm. And the causing of the harm is not the problem. Wanting people to be quiet while you continue to cause harm is the problem. That's the problem. As a father, I'm going to miss the mark. But if my children come to me and explain how they were impacted because of my mark missing, and I tell them to shut up, they're being disrespectful, and they better be grateful that I brought them into this world, that's not the proper response. That's not the proper response. Because then that's how your kids end up never talking to you again and not feeling bad. And then you end up telling me, man, I don't know why they don't talk to me, man. Yes, you do, fool. Man, All of them, man, they just stopped talking to me, man. I don't understand, man. I brought them into this world. Yeah, and you left them hanging, bro. The most you did was lay down to create them, bro. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? If you want to be honored as a father, you have to show up as a father. I can be grateful that you laid down to create me and also say you weren't a good father if both of those things are true. That truth is a result of your decisions or lack thereof. What are you talking about? I'm not disrespectful. You're embarrassed. You're just embarrassed. Say that. That's not disrespectful. Bro, you ain't show up for me. That's not disrespectful. Jay, when you say, bruh, when you say, dog, y'all brought me on this road, man, but y'all treated me like I want nobody, but y'all were still willing to use my gift because y'all didn't want to pay nobody else. When you say that, Jay, it don't matter how they feel about it. It's the truth. Somebody from that camp got to be like, yeah, I'm going to be honest. We couldn't afford nobody else. And he was good enough to get us by. We didn't really care about him, but we only called him because who we really wanted was too far away and we couldn't afford him. That's what you're supposed to say. And then you're supposed to go to Jay and be like, bro, I'm sorry we used you like that, bro. We were in a fight or flight mode and we needed to figure out something so that we could stay afloat. And I apologize that you were misused while we were in survival mode. That's what you're supposed to do. You don't supposed to say, man, if it weren't for him, if it weren't for us, wouldn't nobody even know that. He been a loke. He lucky we gave him an opportunity. I could have sung myself. Instead, I hired him. That's not the right response. That's not the right response. That's not the right response. Jesus. Am I tripping? Jay, am I tripping? Good God, Suge, you still there? I gotta go. I gotta see if my wife, let me see if my wife went to get our son. I'm supposed to be gone. Hold on. She might have went because I'm on live. If not, I gotta go, y'all. If she did go for me, I'm gonna stay up here. Y'all, two things can be true at the same time, bro. And we have to sit with that, bro. And when people, man, if I ain't learned nothing, like looking at different cases, when you look at whether you know whether it's true or not, when you look at like Ross, what up, man? When you look at like when you look at like a Epstein or a Cosby or a Diddy or R. Kelly, when you look at their cases versus their careers, bro, you really got to think like, bro, you can be like killing it and you can be perceived as a certain thing and out here misusing people and you think it ain't gonna catch up, bro. Not only is it gonna catch up, it's all gonna hit the fan in the craziest time of your life when you should be able to rest. So that's why I'm like, I'm gonna do right by. All right, Suge, you still there? I'm gonna do right by people because I don't know what's gonna happen 20 years from now, and I'd rather have the. Here's the thing, I'd rather have if bruh. Okay, let's talk. I don't know how old Brock is, and I don't know if Brock is still in here. But let me tell you something. I really got to tell you the full scope. You should. You should, bro. You should. You got to tell me, bro. Because I don't know. Like, everything that I just said, I just randomly made that up. But anyway, here's the thing. Let's take Brock, for instance. This is how I think. Brock is younger than me, and he's doing amazing things. I'm doing what I'm doing right now. I've been doing what I've been doing since I was 11 years old. If I ever work with Brock, which I am, because that's actually a dream of mine to work with Brock, because I'm not a pro. And I admire everybody around me who's gifted, and I don't have an ego. So it's a dream of mine to work with Brock. That's just how I'm built. That's how I've always been built my entire life. So when I'm in a room with Brock, and Brock takes on the bulk of creativity in a situation for a song, you gonna know that from Brock so much that he won't never have to say it. And I'm gonna look out for Brock so much. Hey, hey, I'm look out for Brock so much that if Brock get a production deal at a label that needs an A&R, guess who the first person he gonna say? That's how life works. That's how life works. They gonna be like, man, Brock. I'm gonna just tell y'all how life works. Brock is Brock worked with me for 4 years straight, and we did projects that changed the world. And I bigged him up and made sure he had his credit, made sure he had his points. Brock gets a production deal with a major label from there because of the work we did. Brock is in a session and he overhears one of the executives saying, man, we need to hire a new A&R. Like fast, bro, and we don't know nobody. We need somebody that knows how to do this and this and this and this. Brock gonna say, hey, man, it's a guy in Carolina, like my mentor, like somebody who really was down for me when nobody else was, man. And he'll be perfect for the job. That's how life works. But no, 15 years ago, I needed people to think I was a pro. So people think I produced records that Brock really did. So now that Brock is old enough to put me in a position, boy, kick rocks. And then I'm like, man, why you ain't put me on? You really asking me that question? You really asking me that question? Man, after all I did for you, people wouldn't even know you if it weren't for me. They don't know all of who I am because of you. If we're being honest. What did you saying? I need God's favor. I need good karma. I ain't no pro. No. I am me who I am, who have done what I've done, and I'm grateful for everybody who has put me in position and rooms to help me do it. And I'm also going to hold people accountable who should have done better. And God is going to do what he's going to do, how he going to do it. And any door that I walk in, if there's people with me, which there are going to be people with me, I'm saying let's go. And you're going to know who they are, what they do, and how well they do it, even if I'm just a facilitator. That's me. Because I don't want to get to my 60s and have to pay for my mistreatment because people bold enough to tell the truth of how I abused them for decades. No, my friend. You won't get me. Why? Because I'm not interested in people seeing my big fruitless tree. Ross, that's hilarious. At the end of the day, y'all, the day gonna end. And before the day ends, it's important that we are on the side of producing fruit because there are a lot of people who are hungry. And choosing your ego over feeding is what's killing us. Because once people find out, listen to me. Once people find out that there's no food there, they're going to stop coming. That's why you can see a group singing their heart out and pan to the audience and ain't nobody hardly out there. Because when people realize they not gonna be fed, they gonna stop coming. That makes sense? Y'all gotta meet me at 8 too. I'm gonna talk to Tyrell Walker about if artists should be responsible for promoting shows. That's a crazy subject, but it's a question worth asking and answering. And I'm gonna just save. I mean, y'all can go look at the comments and see what I said, but I'm gonna save everything I have to say for the conversation with him. I'm gonna save everything I have to say for the conversation with him. But it's important quartet groups who are willing to step outside of your comfort zone. It's important now to decide to be fruitful, and being fruitful doesn't always mean being popular. Being fruitful doesn't always mean um, doing what people used to do. Um, Being fruitful also means you may have to be okay with people not liking what you do and how you do it. Because if you have been assigned, if God has given you a certain seed for a certain people, everybody ain't going to understand that. But your responsibility is to feed people the fruit. Your responsibility is not to be concerned with why people think you should have been a different fruit. Hey, that ain't me. God didn't call me to do that. That ain't me. I produce plums, so I don't care that you what you used to do with apples, man. I, I celebrate your apples. That's what you want me to do. I celebrate your apples, man. That's all. Listen, okay, I'm ranting, but I'm a rant. That's all you got to do. Get in the room with somebody and say, you know what? I'm frustrated because there are a lot of people who are getting a lot of recognition in this internet age. And back in my day, I did a lot. And I don't feel like I received the recognition and the celebration that I see other people getting. Just say it. I don't know. Therapy, a best friend, just say it like, I'm hurt because when I look on the internet and I see people who haven't done as much as I've done be celebrated the way they are celebrated, I'm offended because people don't celebrate me that way and I feel like I've accomplished way more. Say that. Unpack that to have the real conversation. But calling them a loke and talking about how they drummer suck and who the background singer used to sleep with, all because you hurt, that's unnecessary, bro. That's unnecessary. Just tell the truth. I'm hurt. Because they got clout I wish I used to have because I feel like back in the day, I did way more than what they doing now. And they getting way more recognition than I did back in the day. And I'm hurt. Instead, oh man, they ain't doing nothing, man. They just a regional group. They just a regional group, man. They some lokes. We gotta chill on that, bruh. We gotta chill on that, bruh. We gotta chill on that, bruh. Because what happens is you traumatize the next generation and you discourage them. That's how they end up going to other genres. That's how they end up playing in church and not wanting to play for your group. That's how they end up telling people, man, quartets suck, man. They ain't nothing over there. That's how people end up. They end up spewing that back at you because you spewed it at them. So they're protecting themselves. They're protecting themselves by saying, man, I don't deal with them fools no more. You see how that works? Because you belittled them because you was hurt. Now they want to protect themselves from being hurt again, so they walking away and saying how bad Quartet ain't nothing. You see how that worked? When you should have just been honest. Suge, it's real. When you should have just said, hey man, I feel like I deserve the same or if not more recognition because I put in more work than them. The truth of the matter is there is going to be a group that comes along with talent that did not sing nearly as long as you did and out of nowhere get success that you never would have dreamed was possible. But guess what? You should be celebrating them and you should be endorsing them so much so that the recognition you deserve came from them featuring you on a song. Because you were a mentor in a time where they were growing and you used what you've done to mentor them and then you encouraged them to do what they needed to do in 2025. So then when they get that big break and they want to pick a single, they say, you know what? He's been down with us, man. He told us about his experiences. He gave us resources. He pushed us. He told us to do what we needed to do. He told us who we needed to talk to because he didn't know. And this label is now giving us a deal where they want to do a single in a music video. So we got to feature him. And then what happens is all the recognition you wish you would have gotten because you sowed good seeds in humility. The big break comes way in your career. The big break you feel like you deserve come way down in your career from a group that you helped. That's how life works. Really, bro, I got to see the clip. I got to see the clip, TJ. That's how life works. You sow good seeds, and then next thing you know, everything you felt like you were supposed to get, you get it from the people who you would have initially hated on if you didn't have humility. But instead, you are doing a smear campaign in the quartet community, telling people they lokes and a regional group and telling people about their sex lives when you should be helping them and mentoring them and telling them to do better so that they can use their platform to lift your gift. Reciprocating. Bruh. Yeah. Suge. Suge, I'm just here to just tell my story and like encourage people to like focus on producing fruit over being pros. There's no such thing as pros and lokes. It's only fruit and no fruit. There's no such thing as pros and lokes. There's only fruit and no fruit. That's it. You're either fruitful or you're not. What level you're on, what stage, I'm sorry, what level you're on and what stage of your career you're in is important. It's important financially. It is important socially. Um, it is important professionally. But amongst your peers, you shouldn't let that discourage you from feeding people. As you continue to grow, as you continue to feed, as you continue to learn, we're all going to be doing what we're doing. There's always going to be levels to everything. Some people gonna feed five, some people gonna feed 500, some people gonna feed 5,000. But the objective is to be fruitful and feed. And if God assign you to five, make sure them five ain't never hungry. If God assigns you to 500, make sure them 500 ain't never hungry. If God assigns you to 5,000, make sure them 5,000 ain't never hungry. And them fruitless trees over there yelling across the field, and them fruitless trees over there talking amongst themselves about how local and regional you are. Don't let that stop you from feeding, producing and feeding. Don't let it stop you, bro. Because don't be upset. They're hurting. They are aware that they have not been producing. And the only way for them to feel better or not only only way to for them to feel better is by discrediting what you're doing. That's just what humans do. I don't feel good about myself. So I need a hit of confidence. So the only time I get hits of confidence is when I'm snickering and bickering and gossiping about where somebody else is not. In those moments I get to forget about my inadequacies because I am putting energy into discussing yours. I feel bad for people like that. I don't get upset. But I love y'all. I'm out. Peace.